What's up with the Nazem Kadri and Rasmus Andersson trade rumors as we get to this juncture of the season? Not even 1 month in. Yes, the Calgary Flames are nearing some hard conversations. They've gotten off to the worst start in franchise history. They struggle to score goals, to say nothing of the 8 that they've scored in the last 2 games. Maybe they're turning a corner on that front. But nonetheless, you're not going to see a panicked trade from general manager Craig Conroy at this moment. I think where you got through training camp and maybe the first game or two of the season, I think he was still placing calls, talking to teams about trying to improve. And I think he's since put the phone down and said, I'm going to give this team some opportunity to play their way out of it, to see if they can rebound. And if not, that's when teams who have continued to call to notify them of their interest in Nazem Kadri and Rasmus Andersson, that he'll begin to address those in more significant and serious ways. Now, what does that mean for the center market? Nazem Kadri, well, frankly, including Andersson in this conversation as well. This is where it gets exciting if you're the Flames. And I know that this is a disappointing start that no one saw coming. But two facets here. Kadri and Andersson would be the premier players at their positions available on the trade market this season leading up to March's deadline. We've talked openly about the center position and how there's nothing available that provides any help to your lineup. Kadri, yes, even at his age, is still incredibly productive. And yes, with the cap going up, that contract is of zero problem or concern. So, Kadri up front at center, and then Rasmus Andersson as the premier rental target available defensively. Pretty good place to be if you're the Flames selling off assets this season. And then the second part of this equation, what's the payoff on the other end of it for a team that's never bottomed out and never had a lottery pick? If you could trade those players, cash in on the value, and have your team continue to plummet in the standings, the reward theoretically or hypothetically on the other end of that is that special potential franchise changing player on the other side in the draft lottery. If you can find a way to guarantee yourself a top 5 pick, man, the Flames will be adding a franchise changer. Could you imagine the idea of Keaton Verhoff and Zane Parekh on the same blue line moving forward? Keaton Verhoff, very close friends with Cole Reshny, his teammate at North Dakota, just bringing a totally different element to Southern Alberta that they could desperately use on their back end. And guess what? Calgary Flames general manager Craig Conroy was at Clarkson, his old stomping grounds, over the weekend to watch both Reshny and Verhoff play for North Dakota. Just scouting one of his own first-round picks and maybe one that he could make in the future if they could somehow land in that zone in the top 5 to be able to get their hands on something like a Keaton Verhoff or someone like a Keaton Verhoff, who, by the way, has ties to the Flames organization. Guess who his billet dad was when he was playing in the academy out in the mountains? That was Jerome McGinley. Yes, so the ties run deep. That would be an unbelievable synergy if you could just dream it up if you're a Calgary Flames fan.